Imagine standing at the edge of a technological shift so massive it renders the current gold standard obsolete overnight. For years, the Mac Studio has been the benchmark for compact professional power, but as we move through 2026, the horizon has shifted. Apple is about to pull off a move we've never seen before. They are skipping an entire generation of chips to crown a new king of desktop computing. The upcoming Mac Studio isn't just a spec bump. It is a calculated strike. Apple is reportedly bypassing the M4 Ultra entirely, jumping straight to the M5 Max and the mythical M5 Ultra. If you are holding off on a major workstation investment, there is a very specific reason why the M5 Mac Studio is the only machine that should be on your radar right now. The DNA of this machine is fundamentally different because it's built for a world dominated by artificial intelligence. The M5 architecture, which first teased its power in the latest iPad and MacBook Pros, was just the beginning. While the CPU is 15% faster, the real shock is the GPU, which has leaped by a staggering 45%. But the M5 has a secret weapon hidden inside its silicon: upgraded neural accelerators and massive memory bandwidth designed to process large language models faster than anything in the consumer space. The real star, however, is the M5 Ultra. By fusing two M5 Max chips together using Ultra Fusion technology, Apple is creating a single, massive brain. We are talking about memory bandwidth reaching an incredible 900 gigabytes per second. To put that into perspective, this machine can handle up to 512 gigabytes of unified memory. This isn't just a computer anymore, it's a local AI powerhouse that can run 100 billion parameter models right on your desk without ever needing to connect to a cloud server. Inside the latest macOS code, references to these specific chips have already been exposed, confirming that Apple is focused on this high-performance refresh. The M5 Ultra will feature a neural engine with 32 cores or more, meaning AI-powered features in apps like Final Cut Pro and Photoshop won't just be fast, they'll be instantaneous. Tasks that used to take minutes will now happen in the blink of an eye. Visually, the box remains the same classic, compact aluminum enclosure. Apple knows that true professionals care about what's under the hood, not the paint job. By keeping the design consistent, they funneled every cent of engineering into making the M5 Ultra the most powerful chip possible. This strategy effectively turns the Mac Studio into Apple's true flagship, leaving the Mac Pro in the rearview mirror. But the computer is only half the story. Rumors are swirling about the launch of the Studio Display 2. This new screen is expected to feature a 27-inch mini-LED panel with a 90Hz refresh rate, bringing the high-quality HDR experience of the MacBook Pro to your desktop. It's even rumored to house its own A19 chip just to manage camera and audio processing. Connectivity is also getting a pro overhaul with Thunderbolt 5, doubling the speed of your external devices. Whether you're moving massive 8K video files or connecting multiple high-resolution monitors, the Mac Studio remains the ultimate hub of your workflow, from the SD card slot on the front to the 10 gigabit Ethernet on the back. As for the price, Apple is expected to keep the entry point for the M5 Max at $1,999, with the Ultra model sitting around $4,000. For a machine that rivals server room hardware and fits in a backpack, that value is unbeatable. Apple is about to crown a new king. The M5 Ultra Mac Studio isn't just the next step, it is the destination for anyone who refuses to compromise on power. Stop. If you were about to drop thousands on a current desktop, wait. The M5 revolution is almost here, and it changes everything. Something unusual is happening inside Apple's labs right now, and it could completely change the future of desktop computers. For years, the high-end computer market followed a predictable pattern. Every year processors became a little faster, graphics improved a little more, and companies slowly pushed performance forward step by step. But Apple might be about to break that pattern in a very dramatic way. According to new leaks and reports from industry insiders, the next Mac Studio could arrive with something we've never seen before. Or the M5 Ultra chip. And here's the twist that surprised everyone. Apple may completely skip an entire generation of Ultra processors just to get there faster. Instead of releasing an M for Ultra and slowly moving forward, Apple appears ready to jump directly to the M5 generation for its most powerful desktop machine. At first, That might sound like a small naming decision. But in reality, it reveals something much bigger about Apple's strategy. Right now the Mac lineup is a bit complicated. Some machines are powered by newer chips while others still rely on older ones. Certain models run M4 processors while others still depend on M3 Ultra chips. That mix can be confusing. By jumping directly to the M5 generation for the Mac Studio, Apple may finally clean up the entire lineup. And the Mac Studio could become the clear leader of Apple's desktop computers. The timing of this upgrade is also becoming clearer. Industry reports suggest Apple is preparing a major spring event where several products will be refreshed. New MacBooks, updated iPads, and possibly even a new iPhone model could appear. But the Mac Studio might arrive shortly after that announcement. Instead of sharing the spotlight, Apple could introduce it through a dedicated reveal focused entirely on professional performance. And when it arrives, it may bring one of the most powerful processors ever placed inside a consumer desktop computer. To understand why the M5 Ultra is such a big deal, we need to look at the technology behind it. The base M5 architecture already showed impressive improvements when it first appeared in other Apple devices. Compared to the previous generation, CPU performance increased by roughly 15%. That might not sound huge at first, but the graphics improvements were far more dramatic. GPU performance jumped by as much as 45%. That kind of leap is enormous for a single generation of processors. But the M5 Ultra takes things to an entirely different level. Apple builds its Ultra chips using a technology known as Ultra Fusion. Instead of designing one giant processor from scratch, Apple connects two Mac chips together using an extremely high-speed internal connection. The result behaves like a single massive processor. This means everything doubles. Double the CPU power. Double the GPU resources. Double the memory bandwidth. And when two already powerful chips combine like this, the numbers become extraordinary. Some leaks suggest the M5 Ultra could reach memory bandwidth approaching 1 terabyte per second. To put that into perspective, that amount of data movement was once limited to large server systems and enterprise hardware. Now imagine that level of speed sitting quietly on your desk. But raw speed isn't the only focus of this new chip. Artificial intelligence has become one of the most important areas of modern computing, and Apple seems determined to make the Mac Studio an AI powerhouse. The M5 Ultra is expected to include a dramatically expanded neural engine designed specifically for machine learning tasks. These specialized cores allow the computer to process AI workloads far more efficiently than traditional processors. Things like image generation, speech recognition, and advanced data analysis could happen directly on the machine itself. That means users may not need to rely on cloud servers for many AI tasks. Everything could run locally, faster, and more securely. For professionals working with large AI models, this is extremely important. Modern machine learning models can contain billions of parameters and require massive memory to operate smoothly. The M5 Ultra may support enormous unified memory configurations, potentially reaching hundreds of gigabytes. Some rumors even suggest configurations approaching 0.5 terabyte of unified memory. That would allow huge AI models to run entirely inside the system without needing external servers. But AI is only part of the story. Creative professionals could also see massive benefits from this kind of performance. Video editors working with 8K footage, 3D artists rendering complex environments, and developers compiling large software projects all rely on high-performance machines. The M5 Ultra may deliver exactly the kind of power those workflows demand. Reports suggest the GPU inside the chip could include up to 80 cores. That level of graphics power would allow real-time rendering of extremely detailed scenes while maintaining smooth performance. Imagine editing multiple streams of high-resolution video while simultaneously applying color grading, effects, and AI-powered enhancements. Instead of slowing down, the system would simply keep moving. But despite all this power inside, the outside of the computer may remain surprisingly familiar. Leaks suggest Apple is unlikely to redesign the Mac Studio's physical appearance. And honestly, there may be no reason to change it. The current design already works extremely well. Its compact aluminum body stands only a few inches tall, yet it contains a powerful cooling system that keeps the processor running smoothly even during heavy workloads. The clean, minimal design also fits perfectly into professional workspaces. Apple understands that most professionals don't care about flashy design changes. What matters is performance. So instead of redesigning the case, Apple appears to be focusing entirely on what's inside. And that focus may reveal something interesting about the future of Apple's desktop lineup. For years, the Mac Pro was considered Apple's ultimate workstation. It was the biggest, most powerful computer in the lineup. But recently, the Mac Studio has quietly taken that role. While the Mac Pro remains available for users who need specialized expansion cards, most professionals now choose the Mac Studio instead. It delivers incredible performance in a smaller, quieter, and more efficient machine. And with the arrival of the M5 Ultra, that gap could become even wider. In many ways, the Mac Studio is now Apple's true flagship desktop. Another area expected to receive major improvements is storage performance. Apple's latest MacBook models already introduced extremely fast SSD speeds, and the new Mac Studio will likely inherit those same upgrades. For professionals working with massive video files, large datasets, or complex projects, faster storage saves time every single day. Opening files becomes instant. Saving large projects takes seconds instead of minutes. Even transferring huge media libraries becomes dramatically faster. Connectivity is also expected to improve. The next Mac Studio could include Thunderbolt 5 technology, which doubles the bandwidth of previous Thunderbolt connections. This allows ultra-fast external storage, high-resolution displays, and professional equipment to connect without slowing down the system. And unlike many modern computers that remove ports, the Mac Studio remains incredibly versatile. It includes USB-A connections, HDMI, an SD card slot, and high-speed Ethernet. In other words, it's designed to be the center of a professional workstation without requiring a pile of adapters. But Apple may also be planning a companion product to complete the setup. Rumors suggest a new generation of the Studio display could launch alongside the updated Mac Studio. This display could feature a 27-inch 5K panel with mini-LED technology. Mini-LED allows screens to become brighter while producing deeper blacks and stronger contrast. That means better HDR performance and more vibrant colors. Perfect for video editors, photographers, and designers who rely on color accuracy. There are also whispers of a smoother refresh rate around 90 Hz. While it may not reach the 120 Hz promotion technology used in some Apple devices, it would still make everyday tasks feel smoother. Scrolling, animations, and window movements would appear far more fluid than traditional 60 Hz displays. Some leaks even suggest the monitor could include its own internal processor to manage camera features, audio processing, and system integration. All of this creates a powerful ecosystem built around professional creators. And surprisingly, the pricing strategy may remain relatively consistent. Reports suggest the base Mac Studio with the M5 Max chip could start around $2,000. The more powerful M5 Ultra configuration could reach around $4,000. That might sound expensive at first. But when you consider the level of performance potentially offered, it becomes easier to understand. These machines are not designed for casual users. They're built for filmmakers, developers, engineers, and creators who rely on powerful computers to do their jobs. For them, time saved during rendering, editing, and processing quickly translates into real money. And if the M5 Ultra delivers the performance CE gains being rumored, it could become one of the most powerful desktop processors ever released. The bigger picture here is fascinating. Apple is slowly reshaping what high-end computing looks like. Instead of giant tower PCs filled with loud cooling systems and massive power consumption, the company is proving that incredible performance can exist inside compact, energy-efficient machines. The Mac Studio represents that philosophy perfectly. Small, quiet, efficient, but unbelievably powerful. And with the arrival of the M5 Ultra, Apple may be pushing that idea further than ever before. Which leads to a simple but powerful question. If Apple truly delivers the performance improvements being rumored, could the next Mac Studio become the most powerful desktop computer the average professional can buy? Because if that happens, the entire PC industry may need to rethink what a workstation really looks like.